Good morning. It's Saturday. I can't tell if this thing's going live. It maybe used the new software, so hopefully it is. It's a great day, and it's hopefully going to be a great weekend for you guys. I picked out a different mug today. This mug is a podcast I listened to. I haven't listened to it in a while, but I thought it was appropriate for what I had in mind today. If you listen to Ear Hustle, you have to think differently. And I kind of titled today, You Have Time to Think. So think differently. But Ear Hustle is a podcast about what it's like to live in prison. And um, it really brings the gospel message that Jesus is life to life, because it's a lonely place. And I know people didn't get there on their own, that they made mistakes to get there. But Jesus said, I knew you because you visited me while I was in prison. And so think about those folks that are in prison, and visit them, whether you become a pen pal, whether you just pray for people in prison. But think about them, because I was pondering 40 days again today, and I was thinking, what would 40 days in prison be like? Holy cow. My 40 days here in this study, I got a pinball machine. I've got a desk to work from. All this stuff is private. Nobody's messing with my stuff. 40 days in prison would just blow my brain. I don't even know what that would be like. So I have compassion towards those folks whose 40 days were much more harsh than mine. And that's what time has made me more compassionate. Not just the time of these 40 days, but the time of my life. As I've matured, that's the word we use, I have become more compassionate towards others, because I can better understand how they might have got in the fix that they might have got themselves in. I've got myself in some fixes over the time, but others will do likewise. So that's what I've noticed. Time has made me more compassionate. And I also noticed that 40 days is a long time. 40 days, holy smokes. And I was just being a math guy. I concluded that at this present time in my life, 40 days is a long time, but most of the time it's not a long time. And I've had, if you were to take all my life and divide it by 40 days, I've had 536 46-day cycles, and this is the one that I remember the most, because I never had it tied down quite like this. So a lot can change in 40 days, don't you think? Exodus 24:18 is where Moses went up the mountain, and he entered in the midst of the cloud and was there 40 days and 40 nights. He went before God while the nation of Israel stayed behind. And he went and had a conversation. He hung out with him for those 40 days and 40 nights. And then in Exodus 32:1, it says, when the people saw that Moses had delayed to come down from the mountains, the people assembled around Aaron and said, come make us a God who will go before us. As for this Moses, the man who brought us up from the land of Egypt, we do not know what has become of him. In 40 days, the entire nation of Israel lost their minds. They lost it. Because when Moses went up the mountain, that's when God started presenting to them the ideas of the Ten Commandments. And the first of the Ten Commandments was that you shall have no other gods before me and make no idols. Guess what they did after 40 days? 40 days, they made an idol and were worshiping it. And Aaron was Moses' right-hand man, and he says to him, well, tear off all the gold rings which are in your ears of your wives, your sons and your daughters, and bring them to me. I'll make you a golden calf. And I'm like, man, friends like that, who needs enemies? Well, that's what happened. They lost their mind. And so when you think about the Ten Commandments, we're not under those. Those aren't presented to us. They were presented to the Jewish nation, and Jesus fulfilled all those. But if you think about the Ten Commandments, the thing that can help you through life is to think differently. That's what we're talking about, thinking differently. When you feel like you need to build another God, you're thinking wrong. When you feel like you need to murder somebody after being housed up with them for 40 days, you're thinking wrong. When you feel like you need somebody else's spouse, you're thinking wrong. And so that's what the Ten Commandments were telling you, that you had a problem that you couldn't fix. You had this thing in you creating sinful thoughts called the Adamic nature, and Jesus nailed that thing to the cross and gave you a new nature, which is his spirit. So I want to encourage you today to think differently, to know that 40 days can be a long time or a short time, just how you think about it. I've thought arrogantly towards the Jewish people for those 40 days and 40 nights in the past before these 40 days and 40 nights. I thought, what kind of knuckleheads are they? They lose their mind in 40 days or 40 nights. Well, it's a long time if you aren't thinking right. So that's what I encourage you today as you go about your Saturday or whatever day you're watching this. Think differently. Think that the God of the universe lives in you, and he's a creative God, and he can do something amazing today. And then in these 40 days that you have before you will go quicker than you know, and you'll see some amazing results. Take care and have a great day.